What's up, Conquer community? Coach Chris here with this week's Coach's Corner. So for this week, we're going to briefly talk about how to create balance within your training program. So when we're thinking about putting together a program for our athletes, the biggest thing that we are always trying to do, of course, it's to get them towards their goals. But as we put pen to paper, what we're looking to do is we're looking to manage fatigue, right? From day to day, week to week, overall, we're looking to manage fatigue. And what we do in order to kind of account for that is we manipulate a few variables. And those are intensity, volume, and recovery, right? Especially without recovery, it doesn't really matter what we're doing if we don't give our athletes a chance to fully recover, or at least recover well enough to be positioned to perform well in their next workout. Then kind of all is going to be lost, and all the work that we've done isn't going to necessarily matter. So when I'm looking at a week, because I think it's easy to kind of think about a training week, and that's going to build out into each cycle, and then the greater picture of our program. When I'm looking at a week, I keep things very simple for myself. I lay it out. I kind of account for what days might be rest days. Traditionally it's going to be Thursdays and Sundays in the CrossFit community. And what I do is I go day to day. I'll start a Monday off. I'm looking to maybe drive a little bit more intensity, so I'll note that. So if I'm driving intensity on a Monday, then what am I going to do in terms of volume? Well, I'm not going to have the most overwhelmingly volume heavy day on Monday as well. I might be like, a low to moderate in terms of volume. Now come Tuesday, well, I just had a very intense day on Monday, so maybe I'm going to drop intensity down a bit to low to moderate in favor of a little bit more volume. So maybe a higher volume day on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, now I might just split the difference and be about moderate in terms of both. Then we have a rest day, and then I might approach that Friday, Saturday the same way. Now, within each day, how am I accounting for this? Well, intensity is very straightforward, especially with a lot of the bigger lifts. That's just, percentage of 1 RM. It's like I'm not going to be touching on a Tuesday where I said it might be lower intensity. I'm not going to be hitting, 10 sets of 2 at 95% of my 1 RM snatch for snatches, right? So that can be a little bit more straightforward. Now, when we get into more, of our metcons and mixed modal pieces, there it comes down to your communication with your athletes in terms of, all right, I want this piece done at a 80% effort or a 70% effort, and just being very clear with your language to drive the level of intensity you want within that piece, and just being very clear about that. Now with volume, it's a little bit more nuanced, right? Now we're looking at total work done in a session. That's going to be accounting for sets, reps, obviously sets and reps as it applies to specific movements. When it comes to a workout, a 10-round workout that has 8 pieces and 20 reps of each movement, that's ridiculous, but that's going to be a very volume-driven workout. So it's looking at things like that and just making sure that, from week to week, and then as we draw things out to month, cycle to cycle, etc., that, we're accounting for these things, because that third variable, recovery, is at stake, right? If I go one very intense day into another very intense day, maybe into a third very intense day, I'm not giving myself the opportunity to recover, and we're just going to see our athletes' performance decline, right? So it's this constant juggling act, and I try to make it very simple for myself by laying out a week, knowing where my rest days are, obviously knowing what the goals of the cycle are, etc., and then prioritizing things accordingly. And again, maybe that's going to be different for different people. But for me, with my athletes and my community, that might be a very bare bones a way that I would approach it. So guys, that's what I got for you. I hope that was somewhat helpful. If you have any questions, always reach out. Otherwise, I look forward to talking to you all again soon.